All right, Shalom. We the Brothers of Great Millstone, the church in Birmingham, Alabama. And as always, I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers out there. And as always, you believers. So yeah, we back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. As always, continuing in the spirit and theme of prophecy, which pretty much features the downfall, collapse, and destruction of America, Babylon the Great, which will play out in that order. And right now, what you're experiencing is the downfall aspect of it. And this is why you hear these reports, the evil titans of shortages, which is not only reserved to provisions, food, drink. No, it spills over even to resources, energy. The power grids is being stressed as we speak. Not to mention, you're going to have civil unrest. A civil war is still on the table. You still got these Americans pit against one another. What's that, a fulfillment of Isaiah, the 19th chapter? You're going to have strange wonders, judgments in the form of strange apparitions and newly created creatures. The American government, you can't forget about that. They're going to wage war on you citizens, man. The Lord is going to put a spirit on the powers that be to come up against you. That's why the scripture speaks about this place being the battlements of the city, the valley of the shadow of death. What you think state of emergency is all about? That's setting the stage for martial law and other evils that's, set to befall this place, America. And this is why we were set up. The true prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai wasn't sent to promote a spirit of mirth, man. We pretty much the barrels of bad news. I probably should have entitled the sitting that, the barrels of bad news. Yeah, because whenever we make our appearance, then that's what we promoting. We promoting the wrath of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Matter of fact, you know what what's that? Ezekiel, the 10th chapter, the 2nd chapter, Baba Kasha, Ezekiel 2 and 10, I'm going to say. You could probably jump up.
Khan, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 2 and verse 6. And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words. Though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou doest dwell among scorpions, be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their look, though they be a rebellious house.
Right. So the Lord is pretty much giving us instructions on how to forward this word. Basically, we're going to be stiff in our approach. We're not going to waver. You see? We're not going to be moved by your incredulity. The scriptures say, be not afraid of their words. Jake, they like to pretty much send wolf tickets, give you these evil looks. We're not dismayed at that. And this is a rebellious house we're dealing with. Because these niggas, they don't like to be corrected. Imagine correcting one of these niggas, man, on the fly. They're going to get emotional. Or what Yahweh Shai said, give not thy pearls to swine, these they what? Turn and rend you. That's why you're not going to see us in the hood trying to persuade some low-life nigga. And I hate to say it like that, but hey, that's what it is, man. See? Come on.
Come. And thou shalt speak my words unto them.
Right, and that's the point. These are not our words. We're simply the messengers. And that's the very essence of an ambassador. We speaking on behalf of the heavenly kingdom. We're doing nothing more than reporting unto you. And that's why the main objective when you consider the true men of the Lord is the scriptures. Right now, we going into a precept. And this is why Yahweh Shai is known as the faithful witness. What's that? The book of Revelation, the first chapter. Because the Lord testified of what we saying. Go ahead.
Con. It says, and thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. For they are most rebellious. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee.
Right. So we're commanded to digest this word. We can't say, you know what, this is not in the best interest of my family, so I'm not going to push that. And that's what a lot of these jakes do. They compromise the word. They got one foot in the world. The approach is a world-friendly one. And they know if they present this gospel, you know, in its totality, then it's going to ruffle feathers. It's going to rattle the cage. You see? But no, we're commanded. The Lord said, look, open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. Go ahead.
Con. And when I looked, behold, a hand was sent unto me. And lo, a roll of a book was therein.
Right, that's dealing with the scriptures. Come on.
And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without. And there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe.
See that? So that's the report. Especially as it relates to the here and now, which we often touch on. Everything is a build up to this moment in time. The Lord pretty much promoting this scene. Hey, that's why, what's America referred to as? The shadow of death. See? So the Lord, throughout these various accounts in the scriptures, even when you read the psalmists, certain psalms and the writings as a whole, the prophecies, first and foremost, again, they all hint at the time that we're in now. You know, it's no different than promoting a good fight, right, between two boxers. Without the promotion, they could be great boxers, but you're not building it up. Or whatever event, two opposing teams, whether basketball, football, hey, even down to the venue. It might be at the in Las Vegas, right? Everything is promoted to basically shed light on that event. So that's pretty much what the scriptures is all about. As it is written, things written aforetime was written for our learning. So in some capacity, the Lord is hinting at the time we're in now. Now, with that said, when we report these things, we looking no further than the Holy Scriptures, as the brother just read. Written therein, lamentations, which that word, matter of fact, let's look at some of these words.
Okay.
And if you of the faint-hearted, hey, just go to church, because the truth, hey, you know that saying is very accurate. The truth hurt, man. Because the truth, it basically highlight imperfections, if you will. Let's say, like, if you got on a shirt with stains, you could get away with it as long as it's covered in dark, man. But once light is shed on it, then now it's uncomfortable. You have to deal with that uncomfortableness because the light itself revealed it. So it's no different than with this truth. By this truth having its free course and pretty much taking root in the earth, now we got to have uncomfortable conversations. We got to speak about food shortages. We got to speak about the threat of a global war. You see? And so on and so forth. All right, come on.
Con, that word lamentation, it says lamentation, dirige, elegy. It says a dirige as accompanied by beating the breast or on instruments. Lamentation.
Yeah, there's like a form of mourning. from a real sincere place. You beat your chest. Let's see what that root word give you.
Con. It says to chant a dirige, chant, wail, lament. In the Strongs, it says to.
This book is like a how could I put it? It's like music. And you read the notes, the musical notes, and the music is that of wailing. You want us to sing to you a joyful song, but the lyrics don't permit that. See, so we actually lamenting. Go ahead.
It says to lament, to strike a musical note.
Right. Hey, for an example, you see these movies, then they have the soundtrack to complement whatever particular scene. And before the guy come out with the scream mask, you usually hear a screeching like a violin, right? And it dramatizes the scene. So this is a musical note when we say, look, give me Isaiah the 9th chapter in the 5th verse. And we expound on World War III. That's like a musical note. See? So the song, Yahweh Shai spoke about that. We have lamented unto you, right?
Spirit.
Want to get that up?
Yeah, cuz.
Yeah. You already know, bro. Hey, feel free to jump in. Yahweh Shai spoke about that. See, right now, you people are supposed to be reacting a certain way. If they play a certain song, then depending on that particular song, then you react a certain way. If they play the electric, one of these songs that complement the electric, it pretty much provokes the electric slide. They have certain tracks that everybody know to go to the floor and start doing the electric slide, man. The cha-cha slide. That nigga died. That nigga was a
good
man.
Yeah.
He was at the ATM.
Right.
You see, but yeah, I hope that makes sense. Whatever song it provokes a reaction. You see? So really, you people are supposed to be at the edge of your seat. You should be trembling with fear. But the Lord stripped you from those instincts so that he could destroy you. All right, come on.
Say Matthew 11:16. Whereunto shall I liken this generation? It is like unto children sitting in the markets and calling unto their fellows.
Right, we would be those children, and we sitting in the markets. Rather physically out there on the street corners, or even as we sit right here in the highway, what they call it, the internet highway.
And
we call into our fellows. Right? Go ahead.
And saying, we have piped unto you, and ye have not danced.
Right. Meaning what? We told you was Israelites. Pretty much. We told you that now your punishment have been served. What's that? Isaiah the 40th chapter. Speak ye comfortably into Jerusalem. Tell her warfare has been accomplished. So you're supposed to be dancing to that. Again, you hear a certain song, you're supposed to react a certain way. So that's the initial shock. Look, you're an Israelite. And the time of you being in subjection to your enemies has ran its course, which parallels ancient Egypt, right? What was the rallying cry? Let my people go. So that's the energy that's in the earth. So Jake should have responded a certain way to that. Go ahead.
We have mourned unto you, and ye have not lamented.
And that's the repercussions. So look, you don't want to get right, then guess what? The famine coming. The Lord is going to stretch forth his hand against you through his left hand, Esau. He's going to cut off the supplies. He's going to compromise your livelihood. Ultimately, he's going to burn you with that unquenchable fire. Well, that's us mourning unto you. But guess what? Your reaction was supposed to lament. You see? Matter of fact, read on right here.
For John came neither eating nor drinking, and they say he have a devil.
Right. Now, what we're reading here, this is Yahushua giving you a glimpse into the people that we're dealing with. John came, and John wasn't eating or drinking. John was eating honey and, what they say, he was eating raw honey.
And locusts.
And locusts, man. You should have said that's a man of the Lord, but you said he was a devil. Go ahead.
Good. The Son of Man, like you. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, behold, a man gluttonous and a wine bibber, a friend of publicans and sinners. But wisdom is justified of her children.
Now, what was the point Yahushua was making? Damn if I do, damn if I don't. Because John came neither eating nor drinking and you condemned him. Yahushua came eating and drinking and you condemn that. But indeed, wisdom is justified by our children. You see? Oh, we went into that, how time show you who's who. That's why it's going to be a moment where you're going to say we was right. What's that, Ezekiel 33? Then they shall know that a prophet been among them. No different than when you have a child. That child looked just like you when he was first born. Because the features ain't came out. Just let time run its course. And that little nigga 6'7" with big basketball hands, you know that wasn't yours, man. See? So you gonna know who the Lord was dealing with when the evils unfold in their perfection. All right, come on. Was Salaki, you gonna make a point?
Oh no. That's it, El. You know, that's damn if you do, damn if you don't. You know, you can come compassionately to a brother, you know, and then you come fire like you gonna die, and there's still no reaction.
Right.
You know,
and you know that's heavy. It really go back to Ezekiel 2. Where the Lord warned us of the people that we're dealing with. You see? How they'll be a stiff-necked, rebellious house. So that's pretty much what Yahushua was echoing right here. What's the point? You should be responding a certain way to the message. Matter of fact, let's go back to that Ezekiel 2.
Okay.
And we can go to the next definition.
Okay.
So we looked up that word lament. Now let's see what I think the next word was it mourning?
Okay.
Yep.
It says a rumbling, growling, moaning. A rumbling, growling, a moaning, a sigh.
Yep.
Moan, sighing.
Yeah. So that's an eerie sound. You know, moaning, growling. And it should constitute a certain reaction. If a dog growls at you, then you know that trouble is behind it. That's more so like a warning. You see? That's all we need. Let's go back to the next one.
Okay. Woe. It says lamentation, wailing.
Right. So that's what this book entails. If there's anything that jump out, matter of fact, I see there's like a few root words. You want to dig into that? But that's pretty much what the Bible entails. This is the veracity. That word veracity simply means truth. This is the truth of what the scriptures is promoting. Mourning, lamentations, and woe. And that's not as easy as a concept to digest. That's not as of an open and shut case as one might think. Why? Because all of us was conditioned at one time to believe that the Bible was a symbol of peace and you see? But the Lord, he took those veils from off our eyes. And we understand, what's that? Jeremiah the 9th chapter. Let him who glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me. That I am a power to execute love and kindness, righteousness, and judgment in the earth. In these things I delight, saith the Lord. So the Lord do not only delight in loving kindness and such, but he also delight in establishing judgment in the earth. All right, come on.
Con. It's the root word. It says wailing, lamentation, mourning song.
Yeah, there's a funeral. Yeah, right. It's like a funeral, man.
Yeah.
That's why this the house of mourning. And hey, guess what? We got on like the attire of a widow. That's why. What's that? Lamentations. That's like man, the Spirit made me say that. But Luke, remember the parable of the one?
Yeah. Yep.
The widow, the elect is likened to the widow. So what a widow do? Is she joy? No, she mourning, man. It's like a funeral. That's why it's a turnoff to those who would be considered the inhabitants of the land. That word inhabit pretty much means to dwell, living in a sense. You want to hear the sound of life. You don't want to hear the sound of mourning and destruction and mayhem. And that's why the scriptures encourage you to wait on the Lord. We touched on that briefly during the latest lesson. I believe that was me and Barack. When the scripture speaks about waiting on the Lord, how is that physically manifest? By you remaining here. You was able to stomach this lament in another week or another day or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
It's a task for you to continue to sit and endure the mourning and lamentations and woe, man. But you are encouraged to sit and wait on the Lord and digest this. You see? No matter how bitter. Oh, what's that? The book of Revelation. What is that? Is that Revelation 10? I ate the book and it was bitter. See? So yeah, that's all we need right there. There's a few words. I believe there's a few roots. I mean, you get the point. So that's what we promote. More matter of fact, let's read that again.
Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 10. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without. And there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe.
That's it, point blank, period. And even when we speak about the deliverance, that's met with what? Woe. Because you can't be delivered without the destruction. So even when we speak upon the aspects of the scriptures that promote any form of joy in whatever capacity, guess what? It's still complemented with mourning, lamentations, and woe. See? So you can't get around it. And that's why we was raised up to speak of the evils. Right? Which brings us to this lesson. Let me see some. Pull this up. Yep, the forecast calls for evils, man. The forecast, that's what it calls for. Because we the weathermen. We the right? We the spiritual meteorologists. And if you got in your mind, you want to have a fucking picnic, or that would usually happen. People tend to get mad at the meteorologists, man. Because you had plans of your own, and when you looked at the forecast, it said, nope, it's going to rain. And that compromised your plans. See, so that's what's in the forecast. Now, unless the brother got some, we got that word evil queued up. And you're going to see where this word points really to this time, which goes back to the point I made earlier through the Spirit, where everything is a build up to now. The Lord, all the scriptures that you read, especially from a prophetic standpoint, is promoting the here and now. The things that said to unfold here in Babylon the Great. So why else? Oh, you got guys buying plots of land in America. They weren't sent by the Most High, man. Because you would be what? If you was in the right spirit, if you was in one with the Most High and His Son, you would be basically condemning this place. Because when you read 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter, right, it tells you that the place that's sown with good cannot come. This place is turned upside down. All right, come on.
That word evil, bad, evil, disagreeable, malignant. It says bad, unpleasant, evil, giving pain, unhappiness, misery.
Yep.
It says evil, displeasing, bad of its kind, land, water, etc. Bad of value.
Bad of value.
Worse than. Like,
yeah. Oh no, go ahead, Salaki.
Worse than, worse comparison.
See that? So that proves that this is a build up to now. When you go into this word evil, it's worse than what? It's worse than 70 AD. It's going to be worse than chattel slavery. You got guys who saying, nope, we already been through Jacob's trouble. It was in chattel slavery. Well, hold up. Back then, they had bloodhounds stalking you. But now you got robot dogs on the scene. I don't know if you saw the creepy robot dogs with the, you had these tech billionaires' heads on them.
Man.
That's even creepier, man. A robot dog with Elon Musk at your door. His head. But you see, right? Worse than the worst. Worse in comparison. Comparison to what? The evils in times past. Is it more on that?
Let's see. It says unhappy, evil, hurtful, bad, unkind, vicious in disposition. If I may. You mentioned earlier that wrath that the Lord is going to bring forth at the end. He's going to be vicious in his disposition to these people. It says bad, evil, wicked in general, of persons, of thoughts, deeds, actions, distress, misery, injury, calamity. What was that, Jeremiah, the time that I would bring the calamity upon Esau?
Yep. And you people out there, you're going to, Salaki, they're going to catch those strays. Right? Because that evil that the Lord set up for those of you who laid in bed with him, you're going to feel the brunt of it. That's why Yahushua made the statement, the judgment that was laid up for Satan and his angels, you're going to partake in it. Hey, a Christian to hear that and they'll perceive it to be talking about inferno, a hell fire. It's going to be hell fire, but it's going to be the destruction, which will manifest in the form of World War III. Now, you know what else jump out? I'm sure you already own it. That word distress, right? That goes back to what? Luke, the 21st chapter. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's go there real quick. And see these different words like distress, unpleasant. That's meant for a particular setting, because it's not America, the place of mirth and joy. To capture, right? You go out on a vacation, you capture the moment with a flick, you take a picture, and it's promoting what? The love of life. What's the scripture speaks about?
Love not the world,
right?
The things that are...
And that's what's on display here. So now the Lord has a certain spirit that he has released in the earth, and it's an effort to combat that mirth, to combat that joy. That's why the definition for that word evil is what? Unpleasant. Why? Because you're in a certain, this state of being, this setting here in the West, in a particular America, it promotes that untemperate spirit, that happy joy. You got an austere look. A motherfucker ask you, what's wrong with you?
Right.
because the setting here is what? Of that of folly, joy, mirth, happiness. And so why would the Lord have to threaten you with unpleasantness if this place if this place was already, in that spirit? So it's just like, it's no different than you said, look, I'm gonna take away your video game. You tell your kid. That's because he got a video game. So that's why the threats, right, of famine. Oh, is not America the most obese country? And we often touch on the homeless is well off here. Nigga got his own pizza, $5 pizza. So we understand that the threats, right, is geared to a certain place. See? Come on.
St. Luke chapter 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth distress of nations.
Distress of nations. That's the spirit. You people are going to be overwhelmed with distress. What?
With perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring.
You already know. Let's look at that word perplexity. Which, if you're familiar with this style of teaching, we have often went into this word, and rightfully so. It is going to be, again, the Lord's perfect antidote, if you will, to combat the pride of you Americans, man. And I'm gonna be, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of you Americans, man. You fucking Babylonians, man. And your confusion on all fronts. The niggas don't want to follow rules. They don't even want to follow the devil's rules. The nigga can't stop at a red light, running, blowing past red lights, driving above the speed limit.
Yeah.
Like, these people is ready for the taking, man. From the stricken in age to a fucking child. Because these little kids wicked as hell, man. Here in America. Why? Because this is the setting that basically produce that, evil, perverse spirit. Come on.
It says to be without resources.
To be without resources. What should come to mind? America. America got all the resources. You can take a shit, hit a button, and the shit disappear. Things that, people often overlook. Now, not to say you don't have other countries that have that, but America is the pinnacle of, resources, DoorDash food. You ain't got to worry about shrapnel from a bomb, like these different countries and whatnot. Go ahead.
It says to be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed,
right.
To be in.
People are gonna be embarrassed, especially those of you who came up against this word. You self-proclaimed leaders and your congregation. You're gonna be embarrassed, man. And not just them, but mainly more so you Americans as a whole. Come on.
To be in doubt, not to know which way to turn.
See that? Go ahead.
To be at a loss with oneself. Be in doubt, not to know how to decide or what to do.
That's heavy, man. Versus those of us who put our trust in Yahweh. We're going to know what to decide and do because the Lord going to put the spirit of discernment on us. Or it's going to require elite decision making. When the chip is mandated and ordered, constituted, there's going to be spirits that's going to know what to decide. And that's going to be solely based upon the will of the Most High. But this is the beginning stages of that. Come on.
It says to be perplexed. Down here in the Strongs, it says to have no way out.
Come on, man. Hey, because the way out is who? Yahweh Shai, which is known as what? The door. You're going to need the door to get out the famine. What?
I.e., be at a loss mentally.
Come on, man. And that's where it all starts, with your decision making, your mindset. So when that goes, then everything else follows. So that's why that wisdom is hewing out her 7 pillars that's keeping us stabilized, because a pillar is what holds you up. And that's what wisdom is doing. Right? Your mind, a scripture said, break up that fallow ground. So wisdom is hewing out pillars. It is pretty much creating the proper mindset to go into these evils. See? In which we got a little information that proves that we right at the doorstep of these evils. And I'm gonna hand it over to the brother. You know, I just looked at the time, and yeah,
good.
it's doing something. Hey, was you good on that end, on your end? What you had?
Oh yeah, Con.
Yep, you got it.
Con. It says ICE ordering fleet of 20 armored vehicles from Canadian firm. So you see, these are tactical vehicles that's armored, man. You know, that's just not for play or for show. No, this devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. Why? Because he know if he had but a short time. No.
Oh, and if I may, right, this guy Trump, he heavily invested into this ICE, man. Them numbers are staggering. I think the last I looked, it was like up in the damn the billions, damn them, man. The money he was trying to spend. Right? I don't know if you came across that.
Yeah, I seen where we may have did a lesson on the
video, right?
Yeah, Con.
Yeah, we touched on that.
Yep.
So that's the Lord working through his left hand. And a lot of these citizens, I was looking at another bit of information that was going into how so many U.S. citizens with no prior arrest records or none of that, they've been infected by ICE. And it's this one video we had this broad, right? She ran and made it to the house on time, and the ICE nigga was chasing behind him, man. And once she got in the door and kind of closed the door, he was like, all right, fuck it. Because they just kind of stepping over boundaries, no warrants, nothing, man. Just asking you, let me see some information. Oh, it was one video where a cop pulled over a guy who worked with ICE, and he started scrutinizing the cop. Did you see that?
Yeah, Con.
Where he said, you a Jamaican?
Yeah.
The cop asked him for ID, and the ICE nigga said, hold up, who the fuck are you? What, you know? But see, and it goes back to the point I made earlier through the spirit. The downfall, collapse, and destruction of America. It will play out in that order. And again, you're witnessing the things that contribute to the downfall of it. America pretty much losing its sovereignty, if you will, in the sense of these citizens. You still think that the Constitution been suspended, man. See? And that's going to lead to that perplexity. This is going to be one of the elements that's going to lead to that perplexity that we just looked up in the Greek. Yep, come on up.
This is from Newsbreak. It says WHO issues global demic potential warning of H3N2 flu strain involves rapidly worldwide. Part of those evils, you know, reading Jeremiah, prophets that have been before me, before thee of old, prophesied of war, evil, and pestilence. You know, paraphrasing. So, hey, it's growing. You know, we'll get this first paragraph, Elder. It says the World Health Organization has sounded the alarm over a fast-changing influenza strain, warning that international monitoring networks are picking up viral mutations with planned potential as infection numbers climb in numerous areas. So, you know, that could be the next catalyst to the shutdowns again, you know?
Yep. Hey, if I can add to that too,
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that point up. Shutdown. That shutdown is a vulnerable place to be in. You're a sitting duck.
Mm-hmm.
That's what these devils want to do. Being a cunning hunter, like a hunter, he want to have you in the scope. So that's pretty much what they do when they lock you down. Because you can have all the weapons you want, but nigga, if you in your house, you already in that place where you were trapped. They could just bomb your shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Hmm.
So this next lockdown is going to be far more severe than that test run. What was that, 2020?
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Hmm.
Hey, because we often speak about that in Jeremiah 15, such as for the captivity to the captivity. And we apply that to these concentration camps, and that's right. But also your home is captivity, because that's how pretty much you can get around. Hey, because you might have someone to say, hold up, man, they're not going to be able to round up everyone. That's time sensitive, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, just put your ass a lockdown. That's the captivity right there, man. And they have these, and we just went into the article where they ordering in these military style.
Mm-hmm.
What was it again?
Oh, those armored vehicles with the what is that? The turret on top of the truck.
You see?
Hmm.
So that's all they got to do is have them positioned strategically, and your ass in the house, man. That's the captivity as well. So there's no way around the reality of prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
We just hear the narrator as it happened. And the Lord, again, you see where everything is unfolding in real time. Yahweh, and I'm gonna bring it up again. Yahweh Shah often bring this up. Matthew the 24th chapter, where Yahweh Shah spoke about the fig. When you see the figs begin to bud, then you know summer is not. So these articles, these different events, things that's transpiring, even the missiles being on the earth, the cyber prison already being set up, the infrastructure for the MOTB, those are likened to figs. Now you know that World War III is not. Summer is not. You know that there's a changing of the guard. Come on, is there more on that?
That was pretty much it on this one. It says highly contagious winter vomiting disease is now in Illinois.
Whoa.
The Lord got man, so many ways again you, but these are part of the evils. You know, a highly contagious winter vomiting disease. You know.
Hey, and you mentioned it, right? The ways to die has broadened. And that proves again that everything builds up to now. And the perfect setting is the valley of the shadow of death, America. Hey, not to say that you don't have airborne diseases in China and different, but a lot of those cases be trials, test runs, then eventually they bring it here. Because was that not the case with the whole C-19?
Yep.
People forget all about it. Started over there in China. Remember, you had the videos, motherfuckers falling out at the bus stop.
Yeah, kind.
Yeah, they had ambulances and shit ready to go on the fly, just riding by, ready to pick a nigga up mid drop, But then you forgot about it and it spilled over to here. Come on out.
Cause just this first paragraph, it says, I know hearing or reading the words highly contagious might bring around some really unpleasant memories of the pandemic. But unlike the this particular bug isn't something that you've never heard of before, and you won't be asked to lock down. So even they, if I may, they entertaining the lockdown, man. You know,
Right.
but it's something highly contagious, and it's almost like they trying to put you at ease. You know, even though this will have you vomiting, but even bringing up you won't be asked to lockdown, it means that's an option. You
Right.
know.
Right. Wow. And because it is a natural, it's almost like organic in a sense to quarantine. Hey, because
Mm-hmm.
if you got a cold or a contagious disease,
Mm.
naturally they might send you home on your job, or
Okay.
see. So yeah, you're gonna be in a situation where that, like you mentioned, there's gonna be an option. And ultimately, that's the Most High.
Hmm.
Because the Most High gonna take away, and we mentioned it earlier, the mirth,
Mm-hmm.
right, the joy, which so often contribute to the folly of you people. Because people don't get serious until there's a crisis. Motherfucker could be laughing in mid-sentence. He hears something, then he get right.
Good.
And that's how the Lord gonna snap you people out of that stupid spirit of folly, man,
Woo.
with
Dang.
reality, man. Oh, have you ever saw the movie, man? This is a good movie. Uh, it's a movie about the guy. He was an informant. Oh man,
Mm.
it slipped me. He was an informant for the mob. Donnie Brasco,
Mm.
right?
I ain't
Yeah, that's
seen
a
that
good
one now.
movie, and it was a
Okay.
scene where this guy, he was like he was like a boss. He had his own crew, and he was trying to get money up, get the money right to send up to the bosses. And this one guy was joking around, and he backhanded him right in the middle of him joking. And the guy, his whole countenance changed. He snapped out. That's how the Lord going to do you Americans,
Hmm. Hmm.
because he could have easily just told him, knock it off, and that wouldn't have been enough. He actually backhanded the shit out of him, man. You see, and that was like whenever I watch that scene, it's real satisfying
Mm-hmm.
through the spirit. That's what the Lord gonna do to you Americans, man.
Hmm.
Your festivities and fucking playing around. On a sudden, the evil's gonna start to unfold, man. And guess what? At that point, our reality gonna become your reality. You're gonna see
Mm-hmm.
why we, in the spirit that we in.
Hmm.
Yep, come on.
May I add, Elder?
Oh yeah, you got it.
That's that songs where it said, "I will beat down his foes before his face." You know,
Mm-hmm.
you go into that backhand aspect. You
Yeah.
know, and it said, "Plague them that hate him." And that word plague in the verb form literally means cause a continual trouble and distress to. So as you've been mentioning, these plagues and these evils are continuously growing, but as the Lord causing a continual trouble and distress to this place, man.
Mm.
You know?
Man, that's heavy. Hey, that word plague and beat is in the same breath.
Mm,
When you go into that word beat down, one of the words that's actually plague.
mm, mm,
So the plagues is likened to a blow from the Most High. And it go back to the point I made when the guy backhanded the guy.
hey.
That was the only way we were gonna get his attention, man. So the Most High ain't playing with you Americans.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you got to be a Israelite first and foremost, but ultimately you have to be of the elect, and that's what we're fighting for. Our desire is to be numbered amongst those who will be favored by the Most High, to somehow escape the evils.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, we got anything else?
Yeah, Khan. It says, what happens in the first hours and days after a total grid collapse?
Why is that the conversation in the earth? Because this is a reality.
Okay.
You see? And you don't start saying, give me an umbrella until you see the setting begin to complement that, right?
Mhm.
Skies start getting gray, you see clouds, you might even feel a drizzle.
Hmm.
Then that provokes, right, the proper reaction.
Hmm.
So why are people speaking about blackouts? Because that's the time we in. We ain't the only ones who's speaking about it. Again, I'm gonna say it again. We just reporting it. We narrating it as it happened. But guess what? It would be in your good interest to believe. What's that? Is that 2 Peter 1?
Mm-hmm.
It would do good unto you to heed.
Con.
You see? Yep, come on. Was it a read on that?
Con. I'm gonna just get the highlights on it. Let's see. It says the power goes out day one. Electricity is often the first utility to fail during a disaster, and its loss triggers a domino effect.
Mm.
Without power, traffic lights stop working, creating chaos on roads. Refrigerators shut down, and the clock begins ticking for perishable food.
See that? Time. Yep, come on.
It says within hours, the modern conveniences we take for granted vanish.
Right. So you see how you're pretty much, there's a thin line between that mirth and mourning. All it takes is that one domino that's going to set off the sequence of events.
Mm-hmm.
See? And we know how you Americans going to react. The toughest of you guys who claim to be gangsters and man, that first couple of hours, man, when you niggas can't charge your phone. See?
Mm-hmm.
That perplexity gonna settle in. We looked up that word earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Con. It says within hours, the modern conveniences, it says leaving families to confront the harsh reality of a powerless world. If I may, you just mentioned that perplexity, how you going to flush the toilet? How you going to cook you something to eat? Now they're going to that harsh reality, as you mentioned the other day, reality is going to become our reality.
Yeah.
It says
see what the saying. You see what I'm saying? See what we saying.
Woo-hoo.
Yep. Come on.
It says the U.S. electrical grid, much of which was built in the mid 20th century, is aging and vulnerable. Equipment failures, natural disasters, and cyber attacks all pose significant risks. So they just give, if I may, multiple ways the grid can be affected.
Right.
I seen a thing the other day about a solar flare. This huge solar flare pointed, toward the earth. And just so happened when it's going to be set off, the United States will be facing, that onslaught of a solar flare. But again, those just certain things that they could take this failing grid out. It's like.
And you know what? If I may, that's like, you getting that diagnosis. And I know I'm using analogies, but if someone on a sick bed and you say, yeah, this guy heart failing, his lungs is compromised, his pancreas, you can't come but to the conclusion he's gonna die. That's the thing with America. Like you mentioned, all the different scenarios that can contribute to the grid. Now, let's say you get over that. Then now we got to talk about the famine. Right? Then now we got to speak on the civil unrest. Not to mention, it's eating itself from within. With the American government, they crashing the system themselves, man. So the diagnosis is he gonna die. Right, he got spitting up blood. He got AIDS and he got cancer. Like goddamn. you start making funeral arrangements.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Mm.
So, yeah, all of these different news stories that break, which we report through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shai, is like bad news.
Mm.
The condition of this place is waning. See?
Hmm.
So even if you say, well, hold up, I don't want to talk about that. We said we'll put the grid aside. So we're gonna have to deal with this then. Because again, all signs point to the destruction of America. And I mentioned it earlier. You got anything out? Was that it on this?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
We got any more articles?
Lie.
Let's end off in 2nd Ezra 16, start at the 17th verse. Because back to the point of chronologically looking at the overall destruction of America is going to play out, as we often say in the spirit, downfall, collapse, and destruction. Everything that we just brung out in this lesson, as it relates to information, overall, all the various articles we done went to throughout the years, that's the downfall.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to manifest in the form of the evils. That's going to be pretty much the collapse. And then what's it going to lead to? The destruction, because America not going to regain its footing. No, we understand the storyline. See? All right, so come on. Matter of fact, start at the 17th verse.
Con is the 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days?
Right. So he was in the spirit of prophecy. He was able to foresee. Oh, and that proved that everything is what? A build up to now. The Lord saves his best work for last. It's touching the destruction and the deliverance, but the things that's going to build up to it, the evils, man. Come on out.
Con, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear.
Right, and you notice, right, it said the beginning of sorrows. So that's why we're going into these articles, because again, this is pretty much experiencing the downfall, which would lead to what? The collapse. And that collapse on all levels, from the roads to your pantry, not being able to hold up, to your minds. And we went into that word perplexity. Before the destruction is going to be a collapse. People going to fall apart versus those of us who have his word as the staff. The stability. Go ahead.
Con, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come?
See? Yep. Come on up.
The beginning of famine and plague. Excuse me. Behold, Slaki. It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish.
See? Those are the evils. So the evils is famine. And again, what reality complements this saying? America. Is not America a place set up where you can eat food is all over the place, from food trucks, right, to, again, apps. The homeless ain't really hungry, man, out here in America. They're going to eat something. They can they throw garbage they throw at these restaurants. I mean, nothing new. You all know. The food they don't use, they throw it in the dumpster, man. In a lot of cases. So how the Lord gonna combat that? With a famine. That's why this is being promoted, because this is one of the evils. Go ahead. Matter of fact,
come, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute.
Which goes back to what you mentioned it. That beat down. That word beat. Which that word beat goes back into plagues. So the scourges. The Lord is not going to just take America out of its misery, a mercy killing. Let's say that. No, he's going to torture America. You see? And again, that's the burden. That's the message we've been given, man. See? Yahweh Shema Shai delegated the prophets to, expound on those things. So yeah, with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchak Wadash. Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the fellow laborers out there, and as always, you believers. Till the next time, shalom.
Shalom.